Every secret leaves a shadow, and every shadow hides a truth waiting to be found. We hear the distant sound of heavy rain falling against glass. The frame is blurred, almost dreamlike, as droplets slide down a window pane, catching faint glimmers of city lights outside. A soft but unsettling heartbeat begins to echo in the background, slow at first, then growing louder. A shadowy figure passes by, just an outline in the dim light, faceless and mysterious. Another flash, two hands almost brushing against each. Other, but pulling back in hesitation. As though even the smallest touch might ignite something forbidden, the narrator's voice enters. Deep and calm, carrying both beauty and danger. They thought their love was untouchable. But some desires are too strong to hide, and some mistakes are too heavy to forgive. The screen cuts quickly, a wine glass slipping from someone's hand, shattering into 1,000 pieces across the floor. A close-up of a fist tightening. A half-burned photograph falling into the flames. The rain grows louder. Thunder rolls across the dark sky. A car races down an empty road at night, headlights slicing through the darkness. For just a second, the camera catches the reflection of two figures inside, but their faces remain hidden in shadow. The music swells, a tense string composition, sharp and unrelenting. Images flash faster, a door slamming shut, a figure pacing in silence, a pair of trembling lips, caught between passion and fear. An open letter on the ground, words blurred by falling tears. The narrator continues, his tone shifting into something darker. Love can feel like fate. But fate has its price, and when guilt follows close behind, there is no escape. The heartbeat sound stops suddenly, leaving a chilling silence. The rain slows to a drip. The screen fades again to black dot, and then, in white letters across the screen, the words appear. Culpa Nuestra, our fault. The silence lingers for just a moment too long, pulling the audience deeper into suspense. Before the trailer moves into the story's central conflict, the silence breaks with the sound of a deep inhale. Shaky and uncertain, the screen glows faintly, showing a dimly lit bedroom. Curtains sway with the push of the wind through an open window. The world outside hums with the sounds of the city's distant horns, faint chatter, but inside, the air is heavy. Suffocating. We see the outline of two people sitting close, yet their faces never revealed. Their hands hover in the air, hesitant, trembling, as if reaching for something they are forbidden to touch. For a moment, the music softens, gentle piano notes, fragile and haunting. The camera lingers on the closeness of their shoulders, the quiver of breath escaping their lips. The narrator's voice returns, almost like a whisper carried on the wind. They knew it was wrong, but they couldn't let go, a love born in silence. Bound by secrecy, the images shift. We see flashes of everyday moments, shadows walking side by side on a lonely street, an elevator door closing on two figures standing too close, a hand brushing against another under the table. These are quiet touches of intimacy, hidden from the world, but the cuts grow sharper. A phone screen lights up in the darkness, a message appearing, short and dangerous. We can't keep this up. Another flash, a ring glints on someone's hand, a wedding ring, a reminder that this love exists in stolen time. The music grows more intense, strings layered with a steady, rising drumbeat. The camera shows a mirror cracked down the middle, the reflection of a figure split in two. The narrator continues, his voice deepening with weight. One choice leads to another. One lie covers the next. And soon, the line between love and betrayal disappears. A door bursts open, the screen goes black. Then a heated argument, words muffled and distorted, like echoes in a tunnel. A shadow lifts an arm in anger, another turns away in tears. We never see their faces, only fragments, the curl of a clenched jaw, the tremble of fingers pressed against lips, the outline of someone storming out into the night. The visuals quicken, a car parked in secret, two figures inside leaning dangerously close. A letter being torn into pieces, fluttering into the trash. A pair of keys being thrown onto a table with force. A hand slamming against a wall in frustration. The music swells again, urgent and unrelenting, until it suddenly cuts to silence. We hear only a single phrase spoken in voiceover, soft yet sharp as a blade. You said it would never go this far. The screen flickers to life once more. A figure runs through the rain, another watches from a darkened doorway. A secret kiss? Stolen in shadows, fades instantly into the sound of glass breaking. The emotions spiral from tenderness to chaos, each shot leaving the audience breathless. The narrator's tone shifts now, almost like a warning. Desire is powerful, but guilt is stronger. And when the truth is forced into the light, nothing will be the same again. The last image in this sequence lingers, a set of footsteps walking away slowly, rainwater rippling around them. The footsteps stop, silence, then the faintest sound of someone whispering, "I'm sorry," before the screen cuts to black once more. The words appear again on the screen. Bolder this time, glowing against the darkness. Culpa Nuestra, our fault. Coming soon, Prime Video. The music returns in a haunting echo, preparing the audience for the storm that is about to break. Asterisk. The rain that once whispered softly now crashes violently against windows. Thunder cracks like an explosion, and the screen jolts to life with a blur of headlights piercing through the storm. A car swerves across an empty road, tires screeching, water splashing in violent waves. The heartbeat returns, faster now, louder. Thundering in the background as if echoing the panic rising inside the characters. The screen flashes to black. Then sharp, rapid cuts, a door thrown open, slamming against the wall. A pair of keys sliding across the floor. A shadow pacing in frantic circles, their breathing heavy, uneven. The narrator's voice is steady but trembling with tension. Secrets always grow heavier, and when the truth begins to slip, there's no turning back. We see two figures in a darkened hallway. One reaches out desperately, fingers shaking, but the other recoils, stepping into the shadows. The music intensifies, strings screaming higher, percussion pounding like a racing pulse. A glass of wine topples, spilling red liquid across a white tablecloth. Spreading like blood, the argument begins, but we only hear fragments, muffled words, choked sobs, voices overlapping in fury. The camera never reveals faces, only close-ups. Hands gesturing violently, arms crossing defensively. One figure gripping the edge of a chair so tightly their knuckles turn pale. The tension is unbearable, like a storm trapped in a small room. Suddenly, silence. A single candle flickers in. The dark, the flame wavers. Then a voice, calm but cutting, slices through the silence. "You betrayed me." The words echo, distorted, almost swallowed by the sound of thunder outside. The screen cuts abruptly. A hand slams down on a table. Papers scatter. A door slams shut. Another shot, someone running barefoot down a stairwell, footsteps echoing. Against cold stone walls. The music surges, faster and heavier, almost unbearable now. Images blur together, a mirror shattering with the strike of a fist. A figure collapsing against a wall, sliding down, head in hands. A secret kiss, but this time rough, desperate, filled with guilt. A cell phone vibrating endlessly on a table, unanswered. The narrator returns, voice darker now, urgent. When passion turns into obsession, when love becomes a weapon, even the strongest heart cannot survive the fire. The visuals grow. Frantic, almost overwhelming, silhouettes screaming, a chair overturned, headlights flashing in the rain, a shadow pulling away as another reaches out. The music builds to a deafening roar, then suddenly it cuts off, leaving only the sound of a single, pounding heartbeat. We see a figure standing alone on a bridge, rain pouring down, hands gripping the railing. Their shoulders shake as if they're fighting back tears, but their face remains hidden. The camera lingers on the trembling hand, fingers loosening, letting something fall, a letter, drifting slowly into the rushing water below. The silence is unbearable. Then a whisper, "It's already too late." The screen flashes violently. A car crash in the distance, shattered glass on the pavement, red lights flickering in the storm. The imagery is fast, brutal, unrelenting. Yet it never fully explains, only hints, only shadows. The audience is left gasping. Piecing the story together through fragments of chaos, the narrator delivers one final line, his voice breaking with intensity. And in the end, guilt does not forgive. It destroys. The trailer fades abruptly. To black, the pounding heartbeat stops. For a long moment, there is nothing, only silence. Then, in bold white letters, Culpa Nuestra, our fault, the breaking point is here. The silence doesn't last. A low rumble begins, not thunder, not drums. Something heavier, like the earth itself trembling. The screen flickers alive with flashes of chaos, blurred city lights spinning, shadows colliding, fragments of memories breaking apart like glass under pressure. The narrator's voice cuts in, sharp, urgent. Love can be a sanctuary. But when it is poisoned by guilt, it becomes a battlefield. The music slams back with full force, violent strings, pounding percussion, a storm of sound. The screen erupts in rapid bursts. Two figures locked in a desperate embrace, their silhouettes shaking as if love and hate are tearing them apart. A hand gripping a knife edge of a broken mirror, blood dripping down. A phone ringing endlessly in the dark, its glow casting eerie light across trembling hands. A figure screaming, though we cannot hear their voice, only see their shadow stretched against the wall. The images speed up, each shot more violent, more intense. A chair flies across a room. Tires screech on wet pavement. A shadow runs through the rain, slipping, falling, getting back up. A letter bursts into flames, ash swirling upward like ghosts of the past, then silence again. A single note on the piano lingers. The camera slows, focusing on a door, closed, locked. On the other side, footsteps pound desperately, fists slam against it, begging to be let in. The wood creaks but does not break. The narrator whispers now, almost mournful, sometimes love binds us. Sometimes it breaks us, and sometimes it destroys everything. The screen explodes again. Lightning cracks across the sky, illuminating a figure standing in the middle of a road, headlights rushing toward them. Just as the collision seems inevitable, the image cuts, darkness, silence, only the sound of a heartbeat, slower now, fading, but the storm is not finished. The music roars back, louder than ever, like a tidal wave crashing down. The montage turns wild, unstoppable. Two shadows collide in a violent kiss, one pushing the other against the wall. A ring thrown across a room, bouncing into the dark. A car door slamming, taillights disappearing into the night. Someone sinking to the ground, their hands covering their face, shoulders shaking. The screen goes black. Then one voice, trembling and raw, speaks, "I never meant for this to happen." The audience is left hanging on the words. But the trailer refuses to end quietly. A gunshot echoes in the distance. A scream, cut off mid-breath. Shards of glass rain down like falling stars. The camera shows a final image, two hands reaching toward each other in the dark, fingertips almost touching. Then pulling apart, the narrator delivers the final line, deep and final, like a closing verdict. Culpa Nuestra, our fault, our love, our end. The screen fades into total black. The words appear slowly, letter by letter, glowing white. Against the void, Culpa Nuestra, our fault, official trailer, Prime Video. The music cuts with one last crash of thunder, leaving only silence. A silence so heavy it feels like guilt itself.